The views and opinions expressed on Geeks Under the Influence are that of the panelists and not of our sponsors, Amazon.com and TeePublic. Parental discretion is advised.
I've seen a lot of back and forth about all the information that came out from Disney about all the new Star Wars shows. I'm so excited about all the different stuff that they're going to be bringing to the table, but there are definitely nerds that are, of course, negging it super hard. Of course, they're just going to, cash in. I'm like, motherfucker, you're getting more of the shit you like. This is from the same people that did Mandalorian.
They didn't just, pick something and, let's make a story out of this. I mean, the fact they're doing one off of a prequel to Rogue One shows you that there is a necessity and there's a want, and actually in the universe, a need for this backstory. It's not like they're just randomly picking shit. It's like, no, we did good with that. We can do good with his story because we didn't get enough of that fucking character. You know what I mean?
I definitely think it is a money grab in a certain sense, but it's actually good TV.
Well, ultimately they want to make money.
It's always a money grab. It's always a money grab.
But if anything that The Mandalorian has proved to everyone is that they can make a fucking fantastic TV series that is, in a sense, better than a lot of the films they've released lately.
True. Very true.
So if they keep that level of quality up, come on now. I'll take whatever.
I'm going to back Grutz on that. Honestly, The Mandalorian is probably the best thing to happen to Star Wars since, and I'll be fair, Rogue One and obviously Empire, which is the mecca of all Star Wars. But
I tend to agree. Lorna, we've had conversations recently, the three of us, about our list of properties, older and newer. Is Mandalorian up there with the Holy Trinity, or is there other stuff that kind of is in front of that?
I would actually put it more like apples and oranges. One of the things I love about Mandalorian and the fact that we're gonna, get all what do we have, 87 new spinoffs from this?
85 actually.
85. Okay, I misspoke. But the fact that Star Wars, with all the canon and non-canon stuff, is such a rich, well-developed universe. You can have so many amazing things going on completely outside of the Skywalker arc.
Right.
And that was part of the thing. I know we're not getting into the episodes quite yet, but I love that Luke came in for a second and dipped. That's all we needed from him.
Absolutely.
This whole thing from Mandalorian is completely fantastic and fulfilling without having anything to do.
And I do want to get into on this episode, we are talking about season 2 of The Mandalorian. If you want to hear our thoughts on season 1, check out the episode that we did on season 1 of The Mandalorian, and we will do we don't do it for all shows, every season of the show, but Mandalorian, you're goddamn right, we're going to do an episode for every season of the show.
Fuck yes.
Fucking right.
Oh my God, it's so good. But yeah, listen to season 1's follow-up that we did. We're getting into season 2. They definitely started using a lot of characters from the Clone Wars or other properties outside of The Mandalorian.
Mainly Clone Wars.
Mainly Clone Wars.
Mainly Clone Wars.
It actually made me start watching the Clone Wars.
So you weren't privy to that before?
No, I've watched a couple episodes here and there, but I was such a bastard prequel hater that I never gave the Clone Wars an actual chance.
Same.
I do understand that because the prequels are just a fucking dumpster fire. But with the animated stuff, it's kind of like DC. They just crush their animated stuff. They really do. And Clone Wars is awesome, but personally, Rebels to me is better than Clone Wars. That's just me, though.
Watched most of Rebels, and I loved Rebels, but there was a lot of stuff that I didn't get from Rebels because it was a callback to Clone Wars. And that's all Dave Filoni, who's heavily involved in Mandalorian, so it makes sense that there was a lot of the Darksaber and other stuff that are callbacks.
You mentioned Filoni, and just everything I see him interview-wise, I love the fact that he just looks like a giant kid on Christmas every time I fucking see him.
He's also,
every fucking time, dude. He just loves it so much. I feel like we're just bros, because that's the way I look when I watch.
He also has that
stuff,
classic guy in his late 40s, early 50s Star Wars nerds guy, where he's wearing a fucking safari hat and a Hawaiian shirt, and he looks like this guy definitely has a basement full of action figures. He's got that look about him, and I'm not mad about it at all. That's the guy that should be in charge of this shit.
Exactly.
He's definitely doing good things with The Mandalorian, and he's got many more properties to go, but he is a huge apologist for the prequels, and I do have a slight problem with that.
Yeah, that's fair. And we will get into that. It is kind of this tightrope walk that you have to kind of give some credence to the prequels a little bit for what they have incorporated into The Mandalorian. But yeah, we're going to get into that and more on this episode of Geeks Under the Influence, episode 202, All Things Mandalorian.
We are things that were and shall be again. A changing of the guard, the dead marching in. You think you can hold out, but you know you're wrong, so you better join us now. You better do it fast, or you will be. Necronomicon gives us power to rise from the dead. You play the tape, our blade begins to spread. You can fight all you want, but it's futile to resist. We're here to take the world and rule with an iron fist. So join us or die, join us or die, or I will swallow your soul. Necronomicon gives us power to rise from the dead.
I watched this episode on, I think it's called Gallery on Disney Plus, about the composer.
I watched it. It was actually done by Variety. The one I watched. Is it the same one where he like talks about how he locked himself in a room for a month and he just builds everything upon itself?
Yeah, you got these like
the whole song?
These giant black like plastic recorders. And he's just like fucking with it, like stoned probably, just like that's cool. And it's so perfect that it starts that way, and then it goes to him going to get it orchestral background and stuff, and the stupid stoner doodle turns into this beautiful tapestry.
And you're exactly right. I don't think we really touched on the score so much when we discussed season 1, but this is a good place for it, and we can actually we'll post the video, at least the one I know that I'm talking about, to the GUI page, where he just literally goes through that score before it hit the LA Symphony. I believe he went through like 10 instruments while he was writing that.
Yeah,
but it wasn't like 10 different instruments for different parts. He built off of that one little recorder line, that melody, and he added keyboard. Then he was like, all right, well, I want like a tribal drum beat underneath of it. And he just went to his drum set and just started doing it. Like he built every section of that song that you hear. He built it piece by piece by piece and put it through certain effects when he was using his keyboard. And I mean, when you're like having to set yourself up and you've got John Williams, it's like, I gotta bring my A game, bro. Like I can't fuck around with this shit, dude. And like seriously.
It does pay homage to Williams as well, with still being its own. That's kind of the beautiful thing with it.
Exactly. Fucking A, right.
Well, yeah, it is orchestral, and I think, and something you guys probably touched on the first episode was the fact that as a Western style story, it really fucking delivers.
Yes, that is a Western theme song. That is a Western fucking theme song.
And I was worried that like the second season, as it got more complex, it wasn't going to get there. And then of course, the first episode was a straight up goddamn Western with, what's this nuts from Deadwood.
Oh, right. Yeah. Timothy Olyphant.
Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah.
Timothy Olyphant. Like
Justified, motherfucker.
Justified.
Basically, what we got was Raylan Givens from Justified in Star Wars universe. That's what we got. And I love every second
Cobb
of it.
Vanth.
Which I also called as soon as he walked through the door and I saw the way he walked, because
I called it too. Yeah.
Timothy Olyphant has a very distinctive way he walks and carries himself.
Yeah, it's kind of lumbering.
I was like, holy shit, I know who that is.
He looks like a guy that's really wasted, but from the waist down. Like, like he sticks straight from his waist up, then not moving at all. It's like hovering forward, and his legs are just just saloon walking down the street.
Yeah, like his legs almost do like the model catwalk thing while his body is straight.
It's like a weird drunken Western river dance thing that he's doing. It's.
But it's not even just like his legs. If you look at his arms, like his legs have a saunter, his arms look like he's stiff as a board. It's the weirdest fucking walk
His arms
ever.
don't move. That's why
exactly.
In Deadwood, he would like put an arm up and rest it on his vest or something, just so it had a reason not to move. And then the other arm is like stick straight, just not moving. His legs.
Otherwise, it's ready to draw.
His legs are tapping out Morse code. And the upper half is like posing for a picture. It's fucking bizarre, and
his eyes are just stabbing everybody.
Yeah,
it's like, I will murder you. That's pretty much what he did. But no, that was that was amazing seeing him in episode 2.
Now, let me quickly, before we get any further, I want to introduce the panel here that's discussing Mandalorian Season 2. Before we continue on, in my viewfinder here, the upper left, one of my friends that I commiserate with over all the Star Wars stuff, we went and saw the Solo movie together on a lovely Friday afternoon, I think, when it came out. Herr Grutz is here.
What's up, motherfucker?
It's so great to have Star Wars still a thing now, where it's not just stuff that we watched the nasty old VHS copies so we didn't have to watch special editions. We can actually go to the theater for new movies of this world that we love.
Know.
It's so great.
And I gotta say, like, when we need to have a old school trilogy party, I was gifted from my brother some months ago the original unfucked with widescreen laser discs of the original.
So
that's a party. That's a party.
I will watch the laser discs with you, mainly because I need to watch Star Wars on laser disc.
Well, it's the best version that's never been released on anything above, actually the DVD versions were like a bonus disc on something. They were like shitty quality. So these are actually better quality.
You're like the only person in like a 800-mile radius that probably has a working Laserdisc player. So you're like the only place to go.
It's possible.
Yeah.
But yes, that's a thing.
Next on our panel, I think the only person on this panel that actually has Star Wars tattoos here to help us along the way. A big fan of Boba Fett and a dear friend that's coming back since I think the last episode was the Captain Marvel.
It was
episode?
Before COVID. Yeah, it was Captain Marvel was my last
This
one.
is the before 4 times.
Yeah, the before time.
We got Lorna Red Patch here to...
Jesus Christ.
I barely remember what that joke was even about, the Red Patch thing.
You were making fun of my Deadpool tattoo.
Oh, okay. Yep, that sounds right.
That makes sense.
That does sound right. Yeah.
Why would you make fun of a Deadpool tattoo?
Because I make fun of everything, so nothing is sacred, especially Deadpool, because Deadpool would appreciate jokes at its expense.
It's inherently not sacred.
It's true. Right. It's very true.
Fair.
And then, of course, my co-host on this show and helps me run the network here, Lowdown Brown MacGyver.
Yeah, hey, what's up, everybody? We're still doing this thing. We're doing the best way we can right now. Is really where it's at. I'm sorry. Like I'm not. We want to keep bringing you guys awesome stuff, but the way we have to do it, we're not all exactly happy about. But it's just the right thing to do.
I mean, I got a new like rubber top for the table. I drilled holes for the wires to run underneath.
I don't want to hear about that shit because you know what? I'm not sitting there fucking looking at it. So shut your fucking mouth and just So the guy who's being a dick right now and bragging about all the shit he did to the studio is Michael Bickett, and everyone tweet him that he can go fuck himself.
I get those regularly anyway. That doesn't even faze me anymore. Yeah.
Don't take that from me.
I'm Mike the Hobbit, the host of this shit show and co-runner of the network here on Geeks Under the Influence. You can find all that stuff at GUIPodcast.com. Click on the links for our social media. Join the conversation. Let us know what you want episodes of in the future. And hit us up on our hotline number, 804-505-4GUI. That's 804-505-4484. Send us voicemails, text messages, whatever. Just, join the conversation. And we're always down to talk to our fans and friends. So on to Mandalorian Season 2. Outside of the last episode, because I feel like that just kind of trumped everything else that came before it on the season. It was so fucking epic.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that either, bro.
What are your favorite episodes?
Episode 6.
I like that. That's a good one.
Boba. As soon as you see Slave 1 go across the sky.
Holy shit.
Chills.
I made the noise as he started coming across the sky.
And honestly, another one that it had a decent amount of action, but it was definitely more character driven. Was I forget the name of it, Lorna? You probably can help me with this. The reappearance of the Bill Burr character. That episode was fucking awesome.
That is
that was episode 7.
That was
episode 7. Yeah. That gave him so much.
That gave
him so much more of a fleshed out character. The fact that he hated what he did with the fucking Empire, and that he was like, "This shit ain't happening again. I'm gonna blow you motherfuckers up." Come on, dude. Like, that's fucking fire. That is awesome. I love that so much.
Really key moments that happened in that episode as well. It's the first time that that Mando takes off his helmet in front of any person.
Human.
And human, yeah. And you realize that he is starting to understand that being a Mandalorian doesn't mean that you necessarily have to subscribe to the specific sect of Mandalorians that he was raised under.
The cultish, as what's-her-face said, Bo-Katan said, like the cult, yeah.
Just that conversation with his former boss was...
Richard Drake.
Drake, Jesus, was incredible.
Oh my God. That's what I loved about that episode. That episode absolutely fucking like changed my mind on the whole Bill Burr. I love Bill Burr. Like, he's fucking funny as shit.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
However, the heist episode, as much fun as it was, seemed a little bit out of place at the time. This episode cemented how badass that was, and it brought his character in, and it was one of the most intimate episodes of the entire season.
Fucking truth, it was right?
Amazing. And when he turns and like shoots his old fucking commander and like shit goes sideways, I was like, fuck yes.
And then at the end, he blows up the entire installation. He was like, I just had to get some stuff off my chest. We call so good.
We call him Brown Eyes. What the fuck? I mean, I wonder how much Bill Burr was just fucking freestyling that shit.
That sounds like a freestyle from Bill Burr.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
We call him Brown Eyes, and probably
Brown Eyes.
Mando's probably like, what the fuck? Like Brown Eyes?
Yeah.
I think it also says something that, you know, it was building up. At some point, Mando was going to take his helmet off and someone was going to see it. I think it says something about the storytelling where that is not what I remember in the episode as my oh my God moment. It was for about 30 seconds. And then they sit down at the table. And the table interaction completely eclipsed the helmet.
Oh, yeah. That was incredible.
Lorna, you're 100% right. It's like, if we're going to do a de-helmeting scene, I don't know if I can say that better than that, but anyway, we're not going to make that the focus. It's like it had to happen in the vein of how it was going, and that was the least important thing in that episode. That's how you do that, because you don't make it a big thing, because now, you know what, moving forward, it's not a big deal if he takes his helmet off, because you saw it in a way that it wasn't made a big thing. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like it was this gargantuan cliffhanger where he had to take his helmet off. It was like, no, he's got to do a face scan. He wants to do the face scan and save lives, so he does the face scan and finds the coordinates. There you go.
Speaking of the coordinates, that is also something that happened at the tail end of the episode that was so powerful to me, is that they got the coordinates and he contacted Giancarlo Esposito, I think.
Moff
Gideon, yeah. That he contacts him and basically is like, bitch, you fucked up. He's like, being like, no, you don't seem to understand how important that child is to me. I am coming for you. Like, not pulling any punches like, oh, no, you fucked up. Like, I am after your ass now.
This is a straight Liam Neeson moment.
Yeah, like, I will
Seriously,
find you.
Though. And also, just because that Mandalore is destroyed, he thinks that any remaining Mandalorians aren't going to just wreck your fucking world. Like, let's not forget, the Mandalorians are known for being the strongest race in the galaxy, and they will fucking murder you. They will fucking murder you. So just don't forget that when you try to swing your dick around, because, you know, Mando's dick's bigger. Anyway.
Right.
All right. We're in the first half, and we already in the second half of the show. We gotta go back. We gotta We got to talk about Starbuck showing up as a fucking Mandalorian.
Bo-Katan, yes.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest, I did not watch the animated series. I did not see Rebels. I did not see
You should.
Clone Wars. Apparently, that's where all these fucking characters came from.
Yes.
So I didn't catch all the references, but goddamn if that episode was not badass.
And the best part too is that Katie Sackhoff, Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica, who plays Bo-Katan, was actually the voice of Bo-Katan in the animated shows. So there was definitely
nice.
She's been in interviews where she talks about where she was like, so you know, if you end up doing like a live action, you know, but never really assumed that she was going to get the role. So when she got the call from Filoni, and I think it was Favreau that called her actually, that she was like, and then was like, we'd like to offer you the role of Bo-Katan, and she lost her mind. And the big thing for her too is that she's a Star Wars fan, but her dad is like the biggest Star Wars fan in the world. He's a massive like nerd for it. So her being able to be part of that universe is like his favorite thing ever. Like, my daughter's in Star Wars, just super excited. So
that is super interesting. Did that not also happen with the villainess from the episode The Jedi? Wasn't she also the voice for that character in the animated series?
I think you're right, actually. I think you are right.
That's what I heard.
But it makes sense if you have an actor or actress that can portray, like, look similar to the character that they're portraying. Why not? That's fan service to the fans of the animated, that it's the same voice. And you've got somebody that knows the character better than any of the other actors that you'd put in place. So it makes sense.
One thing that episode did, and like I said, this is episode 3 we're talking about with Bo-Katan, right? That's the
one, Bryce Dallas Howard did that one.
Yeah, episode 3. So that was the big thing with that. Leading into when we get to the actual final episode, there's obviously tie-ins with that, but just the new order of the Mandalorian. They kind of showed Mando from early on in the season that, like, yeah, you're part of a dead,
right.
A dead ideology. They're taking the helmets off, and of course, you see. Man, Pedro Pascal with his body language is on point with that shit, dude.
Fuck yeah.
You see his fucking like just aggressiveness as soon as they take the shit off. It's like, oh, you're not real true Mando, and like, no, fuck you.
No,
fuck
that says something to his performance, because
exactly
a physical performance without using your face is incredible. And
it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Kills it.
And the other thing with that episode there's been rumors floating through the interwebs about when they get tricked and go on the barge before the other Mandalorians save them. Apparently that's the creature similar to what we saw in A New Hope in the traction compactor. Some people have said, like, because they didn't have the money to actually do that creature justice, they were saying, like, that's like the out in the wild kind of fleshed out, more room creature that we saw in the trash.
So like the goldfish, where it depends on the size of the bowl on how big it gets, kind of thing.
Exactly. So I don't know if anybody else has read that, but I've read that on multiple different kind of interweb places.
If you want to talk about fan theories, Star Wars is like on the top of the list of like bizarre shit that people come up with as theories for stuff. So that I would be perfectly fine if that's the truth, but it could very well just be somebody like, well, what if it's the same? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, right. It could be. They're stuffing Mandalorian with so many Easter eggs already that if that very well could be the case. But if it's not like we're lacking in other references. I mean,
we didn't lose out on shit. We got plenty of other stuff over here. It's keep us busy.
Pretty clear that Filoni is a self-described like Star Wars obsessive before he even started working in Star Wars. So his attention to like the type of droids that are in shots, the type of like clothing that people are wearing, the different races, all of that is like absolutely impeccable.
I want to make a comment to this, and I meant to do it at some point in this episode, but when it comes to nostalgia, Star Wars nostalgia, it can be handled a couple different ways. And I think J.J. Abrams in his movies was very in your face about it in a lot of ways. This is far more subtle. Now, this season ramps it up because they're integrating a lot of other like plot lines and storylines from elsewhere, different characters. You get some Jedi action definitely in this season, but on the whole, like every little detail, I think resonates in the Star Wars universe, but doesn't punch you in the face like it did in the J.J. Abrams movies. Am I right? I mean, that's my thought.
I definitely agree. And also additionally, like this is the first live action that we've seen besides Rogue One. Well, Solo, I guess, didn't have much in the way of Jedi action happening.
No, it didn't.
This is really an opportunity for them to not even focus on the characters that we know from the main movies. But the thing that is the through line with Mandalorian to the Skywalker saga is that the Jedi are this like forgotten order of space wizards that people think are like legend, and they don't really know a lot about it, and it's kind of steeped in mystery, and that's kind of the exciting part of it, and definitely something that's drawn from like the old samurai movies and westerns of like the mysterious stranger that comes into town that's like super powered in one way, shape, or form. They still are able to have that kind of mystique with the Mandalorian just from the Mandalorian like race and how steeped in mystery they are, and that they're fallen. They're all like scattered across the universe, and there's different orders of them. And when a Mandalorian walks into a bar, everybody turns and goes like, "Oh fuck, it's a Mandalorian!" You know, it just like a Jedi's response in a crowd.
And also, apparently, the Mandalorians like sworn enemy. They were sworn to fight the Jedi, so that just adds a whole other thing of like, oh, we're gonna get over that. Like, this is a thing we're gonna get over real quick because they do, you know.
Now, I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to throw this to Lorna, being the tattoo owner of...
Is that the only thing I bring to the table?
The only thing. That's it. No, it's also that you are very well steeped in the character. I put it on our list as Boba Fetish, giving the Star Wars badass a proper fight. That I loved Boba Fett, but he doesn't really get a lot of play in the original trilogy. He ends up getting knocked out by a blind dude. And thrown into the Sarlacc pit. So it's kind of a shitty ending to his character in that trilogy. And in this, getting to see him fully Boba out on some stormtroopers, like, how was your feelings on that when that happened?
Well, I had two. So in the original 3, he really doesn't get to do much. I think he gets to say a little bit to Vader, and that's kind of all he gets to do. He looks
he's no good to me dead, and that's
he
it.
He looks so badass, and they did. Costume department did such a good job that you just immediately want to know so much more about this guy that really doesn't talk, really doesn't do anything. We all just kind of assume he's a badass by the way he looks, not by his actions. And it always killed me. Like when I first got this tattoo, people made fun of me, like you make fun of my Deadpool with red patch comments.
Yeah.
But like, oh, why'd you get a tattoo of a lame guy that dies? I'm like, he didn't die. He didn't die.
I forgot about that.
He survived. I remember one of y'all, I don't remember which one it was, used to give me shit about it. Like, oh, he died in the Sarlacc
That goes
pit.
back to like the first year of GUI or the first, like one of the first episodes you were on. It might have been the second year. You got shit for the Sarlacc pit argument. I remember that. We got to figure out what that fucking episode was. But that's a good callback. Fuck yeah, I remember that shit.
I feel so fucking vindicated after like 20 years. 20 years of defending. No way a badass like Boba Fett went out like that. No fucking way. He had a jetpack on his back. He's Boba the Fett. That's right. And so that was fucking great to see him again.
His backpack's got jets.
Yeah, there we go.
I am actually.
Thank you for picking up on that.
I'm kind of relieved now that we're doing this remotely, because I think you being so vindicated, if we were in person, you would like scream, "Change that motherfucker!" and flip us off and like smack the beers out of our hands.
Right.
Yeah, it could have gotten violent. I feel like
it would have gotten like, "Yeah, fuck you, Boba Fett." So
yeah,
my beer is safe. Remotely.
Right.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
I feel so fucking vindicated. And for him to finally get that entire episode where you get to see just how fucking badass he genuinely is. And it just, it vindicated that he's always been a badass, and it vindicated that he's always been a survivor. And I fucking love it.
And I love that you get to see aspects of his suit that were never really explored in the original movies, that in a lot of like extra stuff where there's like books about like the weaponry of Star Wars and stuff, that he had knee rockets that were never utilized. And now you get to see him like shooting stormtroopers with his fucking knees.
He's got knee rockets.
Who needs
It's awesome.
He had an elbow rocket that he shot a guy with. I was like, what the fuck?
You know what my knees need is projectiles. That's what they need.
Exactly. What the fuck? Come on. That was badass.
And then also the seeing, and we saw it with Timothy Oliphant's character using it in fighting the Krayt Dragon, I think, that the rocket in the back, the one missile. But to see Boba do it, where he takes out 2 fucking ships with one rocket, it's like, oh God, it was a thing of beauty.
I was aiming for the other one.
Yeah, right.
But I will say, going with Boba Fett, that the way they tied in, it was done over like this nice time period of episodes that gave us just enough story to make it like, okay, this is someone else's journey that came across this, because Timothy Oliphant's character was wearing Boba Fett's armor, right? And that was episode 2, but we didn't see Boba Fett till episode 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, you know, the Mando collects this armor based off of helping this town in episode 2 succumb to this dragon, the sand dragon, and defeat that. I don't know, like the way the story unfolded leading up to Boba Fett's actual physical appearance was just done so, not slow, but just the right pace, right? And also, while also saying goodbye to the storyline of season 1, like the way the story was told in season 1, being a little bit slower, a little less to do with the actual universe, and that was like the last episode. It was episode 2 that once you get past that, now you're like, oh, we're getting some new shit. We're getting some new little Easter eggs, and the show it wasn't the same after that.
Yeah,
it just got better.
Yeah.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but I was fairly certain Boba technically showed up in season 2 twice. Did he not?
Did he?
Yeah, you see his silhouette as Mando is flying away, like the last 30 seconds of one of the episodes, and then you also see him walking up to
Ming-Na Wen's character.
Yeah.
I forget her character's name.
So he is actually twice.
It was the episode where they went out to find a bounty that was actually Ming-Na Wen's character, that he went on the speeder bikes with the pompous prick dude.
I think that was that called the Gunslinger? I think
it was called the Gunslinger.
Yep.
That was the Gunslinger.
Yep. And at the end, you see the legs of some figure going up to her as she was left for dead in the desert. And that clearly
shit, that's right.
Yeah.
But you don't technically know that's Boba Fett, though.
No, and then the big reveal is after the Crate Dragon episode in season 2, where you get to see the actor that played Boba Fett, you know?
Yeah.
Boba seeing him fly away, knowing that he just left the town where his armor had been at, is what causes Boba to follow him to the planet where Grogu does his little force field beam. He phone home nonsense.
Well, no, there's actually that gap in between, because like there's the frozen planet in between those episodes, isn't there?
Right, but that was
the spiders. That was a fun episode.
That was my
still a
least
good episode.
It was okay.
I enjoyed it.
It was fun, but it was the weakest episode of the entire.
That's the episode they're using to bring in the Knights of the New Republic, right? The Rangers of the New Republic, because those were fucking New Republic Rangers, and that they saved Mando. That's the fucking episode that's tying in that fucking series. I guarantee it.
I am hoping that they are tying in the Rangers of the New Republic with Cara Dune. Or Cara Dune.
Cara Dune, yeah.
She doesn't want to be tied down, bro. She doesn't want to be like locked into that shit, man.
But she's the most badass rebel ever.
I mean, the hero that doesn't want to do it. You know, that's great. That's the classic storytelling.
Yeah,
it is great.
She takes up a fucking marshal role as like a New Republic marshal.
A marshal's different than a fucking ranger beholden to a governmental
She already
status.
Was a ranger. She
left it.
It's not a far jump, bro.
So you just get to like just when
I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Then you're good. You're fine. All right, I think this is a good place for us to take our mid-episode break. Take a listen to some of the other shows on the network to spend your time with during your quarantine days here. Just listlessly looking out the window, touching it, hoping that friends will just walk by and wave, and listening to our dulcet tones.
Why you got to get so depressing? Or you could just listen to us and rub your nipples and be fine.
That's also true.
Thank you. See? Like, come on, man.
We're big supporters of nipple rubbing here at GUI. So if you got nipples, go ahead and rub those bad boys. And we'll be back in just a minute with more Mandalorian Season 2. Stick around.
Coming straight from the mouths of madness, I'm Lowdown.
I'm FU Hunter.
Do you love horror?
We fucking do.
So this is a podcast dedicated to all things in cinematic horror. We're talking movies, television, composers, special effects artists. We're going to fucking cover it.
So if you love horror,
embrace the madness.
In a world ravaged by movie studios that keep rehashing the same things, only one podcaster has the guts to make it even worse. Join Mike the Hobbit as he traverses the internet to bring you some of the best and worst ideas for reboots, remakes, and reimaginings of some of your favorite and least favorite TV and film properties. Ideas like a John Waters He-Man movie, Fantastic Four the musical, and Aliens, done entirely with marionettes. What podcast would bring this evil upon the world? This is Smack My Pitch Up. Available anywhere you get your podcasts.
Hey guys, Scotty Big Daddy Preston here. That's right, the Geek Father, asking you to join me here every other week with friends and family of the GUI Network as we go through all the trials and tribulations of being a geeky parent. So remember, join us or cry.
My name is Amy Bogard.
And I'm Mike the Hobbit.
And we are the hosts of Deeply Upsetting, where we use our expertise to answer your most upsetting hypothetical quandaries, such as, what non-winged animal deserves wings?
And what body part deserves a secret mouth?
Which cryptid is the worst roommate?
These questions and more that plague you will be answered on Deeply Upsetting, available anywhere you get your podcasts and at GUIPodcast.com.
They couldn't even have the excuse that they had in the 70s. Well, there simply wasn't the budget to make any toys. You have that deep Disney money, man. You have no excuse for not having the funds to create it.
Yeah.
And that's a phrase, like the deep Disney money.
Yeah.
Deep Disney.
But I will say that they do run out of stock pretty quick, but they're getting additional stock coming in. So if you don't see your Grogu of your dreams, then it will become available. So keep checking back on there, or all the other Mandalorian merchandise. Just make sure you go through our link on GUIPodcast.com so we get credit for it. Additionally, and this is something I haven't actually told the couple showrunners on this episode, I created a logo for this episode where I did kind of an artistic rendition of Mando and the child that I put on our GUI logo, and I put, instead of "Join Us or Die" on the ribbons on the bottom, it says "This is the way."
You actually shared that to the showrunner.
I shared that to the showrunner.
And
I tried to upload that to our TeePublic page, and knowing that it wouldn't get a pass at all because Disney is real tight on their reins with that stuff. So it immediately popped up just by the language that I used. I didn't even use Mandalorian or Star Wars, but I said "This is the way," and Disney's like, and it went under review, and they're like, "Nah, you can't sell this here." And I was like, "Fuck, I know, but it was worth a shot."
So wait a fucking minute, hold on, because I wanted that shit. This is a badass design. How does Etsy get away with having "This is the way" vinyl for your car, where it's actually got the outline of the Mando with Grogu?
They aren't responsible for the products that are sold on their website. TeePublic actually makes the shirts, so they would be liable for the shirts themselves. So that's the difference. But
do you hear my growl of discontent?
But I will say, speaking of TeePublic, our other sponsor, is that we do have some new designs and some new designs coming in the very near future. Grutz, you've got a new design for Beautiful Disasters, right?
I do, because you made it, and it's fucking awesome. and I want to mention
that was so backhanded.
I know, he's like, well, because you made it, so
you made it because you're awesome. No, that wasn't backhanded. That's like fucking compliment.
No, well,
I think she was talking about Mike saying he's got new stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was your design idea. I will say the idea for this, and it's a play on Battle Royale, the logo with the crest with the B and the R, but instead it's BD, and it says Schlock Abuse Program.
Yes,
on it. I think we should do one that's like a hybrid of Mando and like the cover from Fistful of Dollars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fucking good. No, you bring in the trilogy, dude. Anything with that trilogy and Mando is gonna go hand in fucking hand.
No
that's fucking
true.
That's baller as shit. Actually,
okay, but those are our sponsors.
How well does the Mando theme go along with doo doo doo?
You can't name a score that is better than the Ecstasy of Gold. I'm sorry. There is not a single fucking epic score that will ever touch the Ecstasy of Gold. John Williams, Danny Elfman, Howard Shore, amazing score, amazing writers, amazing composers. Inigo Morricone, fucking, you can't, no, dude.
That was one of my favorite Lifetime Achievement Oscars ever given, because it was so fucking deserved.
Yeah, dude.
Absolutely.
You can't fucking touch it. You can't touch it.
I always want to say Chuck Mangione instead of, which would be an entirely different soundtrack. That would sound
This is dude from Chicago. He's from Lower East Side Chicago. It's Chuck Mangione.
Could you imagine just like the Mando walking into a new town, like just with that fucking walk, and then you hear. Yeah, that wouldn't really work too well.
No, it wouldn't. No.
But yeah, so we got plenty of new designs coming on our TeePublic site. We've got like 30-something designs already on the site of well-loved previous designs. Check that out. Just go to GUIpodcast.com/store, and there's a link to our TeePublic page right there. And that's our sponsors. Now, the next part is a little bit more complicated with us being doing this remotely, but we still, I do have one, maybe not Mando specific, but I guess a timely drink choice that we're going to talk about on our What We're Drinking.
Hey, we're fucking drinking. We're getting drunk. You want to know? Well, here you go. Hey,
we're drinking. We're getting drunk.
Yay. Yeah, we can't exactly share booze on this thing, but
true.
Considering everything happening in the world, which is really hard for us to like focus on the Mandalorian on the day that we're recording this with everything that happened. We're recording this on the 6th. This is something that I ended up drinking in celebration at midnight for New Year's, and has become very meme-heavy booze that's been used around the internet.
Tell me it's not twisted.
I got the twisted.
Fuck.
Yes, we are twisting some tea here. The official brew to fight racism is twisted tea.
I saw a couple of those memes going around because the storming of the Capitol, we're recording this at 9, so the storming of the Capitol was, 6 hours ago?
Maybe.
Roughly, yeah.
But already the memes are out, like, why... they're saying, like, why aren't there rubber bullets? Why aren't they using tear gas? And a whole bunch of people are like, where's the twisted tea?
No shit. Well, because it's the cops, and then it's racist. So none of them want twisted tea. It's all the people watching it on TV with their twisted tea in their hand, being like, oh, if I was only there to fight either one of those groups.
Oh God!
Has Twisted Tea come out and said anything? By the way,
no, they're smart. They're just leaving it alone and being like, because they can't actually endorse smashing people in the face with their product, but they don't want to like shit on it either. This is the best advertising they've ever gotten. So they're like,
true.
I mean, I've bought now 2 Twisted Teas. You know how many Twisted Teas I bought before this? None, never. I've never bought a Twisted
that was just poor choices, because for a good summer drink, I mean, Twisted Teas are delicious.
That is true.
So,
for a good summer beverage or when you're fighting white supremacy, Twisted Tea.
Take that, Proud Boys.
Twisted Tea, when you're teaming up with Gritty to fight the bourgeoisie and white supremacy, Twisted Tea.
You said Gritty. It's like Twisted Tea. When you're feeling kind of gritty, but you want to suck on some titty, give her Twisted Tea. There you go. See? You just bring it back to the booze.
You just need to send those sound bites to them, and you have a new sponsor.
Yeah, look, Twisted
I think
Tea.
we got something. I think we got something. I think we got something right here. I think we got something right there.
Yep.
There you go. We got two different commercials.
We're about to get that deep Twisted Tea money.
Yeah, you know those
up there with that deep Disney.
I was those deep pockets that Twisted Tea has over there. All their
they've been doing fine for like a decade. I mean, they gotta have some money.
Right.
Fuck. I mean, shit.
Do you have a drink of choice that you're sipping on, Grutz?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Go for it.
No, I have a thematic. I have the Ardbeg Wee Beastie in honor of Baby Yoda.
All right. I'm just gonna say this.
Wee Beastie.
It says Ardbeg, so it's already just like swamp nuts.
Yeah, but
that's all it is.
It's Wee Beastie. I mean, come on.
No, dude. No, it's Ardbeg. It's like you're sucking on a small child's smoky balls. That's what you're doing.
Also, it does sound like...
Do you want to be associated with sucking on a small child's smoky balls? Is that what you want, Grutz? If that's what you're giving us.
That race lives in a damn swamp, okay? They live in the mud.
You and an OG fucking person on this podcast are all about this fucking smoky, peaty shit, and that's one of it. I'm going to call you out on it.
You don't like the Isla Scotches. I get it. However,
I like some. I just don't like the ones that take the peat and shove it down my throat like I'm a little fucking twink. Okay? I don't like that.
Like a what? I'm not even gonna say that.
Just Google it. You'll figure out what it is.
No, I know what it is.
But to be fair, Ardbeg also does sound like the first name of a Star Wars character. Like
it really does, actually.
Like Ardbeg Darkfrau, and you're like, okay, that's a Sith Lord.
What about Lagavulin?
Lagavulin as well. Yeah, that's Scotch. Why is there not like Sith Lord
a whole sci-fi universe involved around Scotch? We could do like the Balvenie 12. That could be the ship. Instead of the Raven Crest, it could be the Balvenie.
The Balvenie, even the 12, Belvenie 12. Be like,
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's the fucking ship. There you
They're
go.
probably tapping Scottish people to find their names.
They're like,
for
David
all the
Tennant,
characters.
hey, be in Star Wars. David Tennant, come here.
They just go into a bar in Scotland, and whatever random ass fucking noise they make, they're like, hey, we can turn this into a word, and we're gonna make this our fucking thing in the show.
Anyway,
Perfect.
anyway, Grogu is the wee beastie, and that's the name of this fucking scotch, and that's what I thought.
Fucking
That's
Hardberg.
Grogu. Here he is
Shit.
again on the camera. There's, hi, Grogu.
Yeah.
Boom.
Grogu's adorable.
Hey, so cute.
Hardberg's not. Sorry.
Woo.
What are the other people drinking?
Oh, I am drinking. Well, I just finished actually the last gulp of an East Coast local beer from Final Gravity. It was called a Juice Box, and it was an New England style IPA. I'm telling you, Final Gravity has been crushing it this whole fucking pandemic. You get curbside pickup, fucking delivery, bam, you got this shit. Like, they were ready to give you the booze.
Fuck yeah.
For staying
Also,
at
a
home.
juice box, perfect for your 50-year-old baby. Yeah.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Anybody else? Got anything? Anything?
Well, I was planning on going out to the grocery store before this started because our house was basically empty. But around the exact same time that Capitol Hill got stormed, my fellow went out and got rapid tested and came back positive. So we are now stuck in this house for 2 weeks, and I didn't have enough time to order shit, so I had to go around my house searching for anything. So I started with some old soju.
Okay.
The way with soju works, as soon as you open it, you're supposed to drink the entire thing in one sitting. So there's been half a bottle of soju sitting in my fridge for about a month.
Oh, cool.
So I started with that. So that's nice and fermented. That was great. And so now I'm on some vodka and orange juice because this is kind of all I really had.
Fair enough.
And hey,
Honestly, Lorna, you can't go
vitamins.
wrong with this Fennec and orange juice. I'm sorry, you can't go wrong with the good old screwball. You
screwdriver.
can't.
Screwdriver.
Screwdriver, sorry.
Isn't Screwball
It's
that
delicious.
peanut butter vodka or whatever it is? Peanut butter whiskey? I think it's called
that.
Screwball.
No, Lowdown's a goddamn screwball.
That's
There
true.
you go.
That
There
is
you
true.
go.
Yeah.
Take it, Grutz. Give it to me.
Yeah.
Come on.
So now,
I'm in alcohol scavenging mode, so I don't have anything fancy.
So, and I do want to take a second and say, sorry, Lorna, that you and your family have to deal with that.
that does suck.
It definitely sucks, but we love you. We love you and Sam, and, you know, it is what it is. Okay,
All right.
well,
on to
yeah.
our next segment here that we're going to try to pull off here virtually. We are doing our little segment that we like to call Making a Drunken Scene. Making a Drunken Scene. I was trying to find like a poignant conversation that had 4 parts to it, and I had trouble with that. So there's 2 of them here that are really important scenes in 2 different episodes that have 3 parts. So we're all going to be able to have a part, just not everybody's going to be able to have 2 parts. So the first one is from The Jedi. That's the first appearance of Ahsoka Tano in a live-action Star Wars property, played by Rosario Dawson.
Hey.
And it's the moment that the name of the child is revealed. So we've got the Mandalorian and we've got Ahsoka Tano for those roles there. Lowdown, you want to be Ahsoka?
Yes.
Actually, yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. Do we have any takers for the Mandalorian?
I'll do it.
Okay. Cool. So this is the Mandalorian played by Grutz and Ahsoka Tano played by Lowdown. Whenever you guys are ready.
Is he speaking? Do you understand him?
Just like the show. It's weird.
So in a way, Grogu and I can like feel each other's thoughts.
Grogu?
Duh. That's his name.
Grogu?
So, like, hold on. He was raised at this Jedi temple on Coruscant. Many masters trained him over the years. And, like, at the end of the Clone Wars is this thing that happened. When the Empire rose to power, he was hidden. Someone took him from the temple, and then his memories become, like, dark and sad. Oh, I'm so sorry. He seemed lost. Alone. I've known one other being like this. a wise Jedi Master named Yoda, that backwards talking motherfucker.
Yep. That's exactly how that went in the scene. Yeah, that's perfect.
Word for word. Love it.
You like that? That's sexy.
You started as like Valley Girl and ended up as like bored gas station attendant. Like that was...
Isn't that how all Valley Girls end up,
Yeah,
though?
I mean, pretty close to, yeah.
There you go. I was just doing like a time loop. There you go.
All right, so we've got, for Chapter 14, The Tragedy is the first appearance of Boba Fett in his armor. We've got Boba Fett, we've got the Mandalorian, and we've got a short line from Fennec Shand. Lorna, did you... I figure you can get one of the longer roles. Did you want Boba, or did you want the Mando role?
I guess Boba by default, right?
I was gonna say, like, I feel like...
I mean,
I feel like you need Boba.
We've got Boba Fett and the Mandalorian. We need somebody to play do the one line of Fennec Shand, Ming-Na Wen's character. If either one of you
I can do that if you want.
Cool. Yep, we got Grutz as Fennec Shand. You do look like Ming-Na Wen, so that works out pretty well. So here we go. From Chapter 14, The Tragedy, starting with Boba Fett. Lorna, when you're ready.
I've been tracking you, Mandalorian.
Are you Jedi, or are you after the child?
I'm here for the armor.
If you want my armor, you'll have to peel it off of my dead body.
I don't want your armor. I want my armor that you got from Cobb Vance back on Tatooine. It belongs to me.
Fuck. Saucy gay Southern Mandalorian over here. Are you Mandalorian?
I am a simple man making his way through the galaxy like my father before me.
You're nailing the fuck out of this. All right. Did you take the creed?
I give my allegiance to no one.
The Beskar belongs to the Mandalorians. It was looted from us during the Purge.
That armor was my papa's. Now it's mine.
What's to stopping me from dropping you right here where you stand?
'Cause I have a sharpshooter up there on that there ridge with a lock scope that will unload by the time my body hits the ground.
I'm the one wearing Beskar. As soon as I see that muzzle flash, you're both dead.
I didn't mean she gonna shoot you. My friend's locked onto that little companion of yours on the edge.
And if you remember, I don't miss.
That was so sexy. Fennec.
You have a keen ear, Mando.
I think Grutz wants to fuck me. I think that's what's about to happen here.
It's like, I'm going to fuck you while I'm shooting Grogu. That's how it's going to work. That's basically what's going to happen.
Lorna killed that shit. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. You did a fantastic job.
Yes.
All right, so on to the last little bit of our conversation on Season 2 of The Mandalorian.
I mean, I feel like that's a good... We didn't really talk about Ming-Na Wen that much, and she was way more prevalent in Season 2, and that was a good way to... I feel like this is a good way to segue into her character in this.
Definitely. I was kind of... I do love how throwaway in the Star Wars universe just getting robot body parts is, where it's just like Boba Fett, who has not been able to literally find a faster form of travel besides on foot, was able to somehow create robot stomach for her, which I saw on Twitter. The question is, now that she's got a robot gut, what do her farts smell like? Which is an interesting question.
WD-40.
WD-40.
Name of the episode, WD-40 fart.
Yes, that's not bad.
Oh, Jesus.
But I love the actress Ming-Na Wen, and I'm really excited for the character that she portrays. This sharpshooter, like kind of no allegiance to anyone, kind of dirty, but very talented, like assassin. Is great.
This isn't really important. I just want to point out to everybody listening and to everybody who's watched Mandalorian and her show prior, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., currently right now, she is like 57. Okay?
Yeah.
She looks like she's late 30s. That woman is fire, bruh. Fire.
Lowdown, what did I just tell you 10 minutes ago? Asians don't raisin.
Yeah.
It's the whole...
It's truth.
It's
truth.
Did you
no,
miss that?
I didn't, but I just want to like reemphasize for people that didn't believe that. Like, no, this is somebody else who's from the other race that apparently don't crack. Like, it's true.
And then Grutz and I are on this call being like, we look older than we are now. Like,
Yes,
we're
you
gonna
do. Anyway,
For real.
she not only she's a badass with a choreography on both shows that I know her from, she is just gorgeous. Like, seriously, she's beautiful. Like, and then she's also like, I'm gonna fucking throw a fucking head kick, and like it was nothing. I just stretched a little bit before I did it. It's cool. You know, and fuck you. God damn it.
She was goddamn amazing in that episode, but we absolutely need to talk about the Jedi episode with Michael Biehn and Rosario Dawson.
True. Very true.
Come on.
Ahsoka-tan, come on.
Ahsoka Tano, that was one of the characters that from the
Clone Wars yes.
series.
She had like a whole season dedicated to her character on the Clone Wars.
Pretty much. And even if you aren't a fan of the prequels or the Clone Wars, that is one of those characters that just looks so fucking cool that you're like, I mean, I'm cool with this. I mean, the dual wielding like white lightsabers that she's got going is so fucking badass.
So, are they white, or are they supposed to be reminiscent of the gray saber? Which the gray saber is apparently what the actual gray Jedi started out with back in the day. If you're going with like Star Wars canon lore, before they became like the gold.
Oh, before the gold, the gold ended up turning into something else where it's like it's the Sentinel saber, I think, something like that, or of the Jedi.
So if you follow the Star Wars canon, like she's holding like OG fucking sabers.
Yeah,
these are GUI deep cuts.
Deep cuts.
GUI deep cuts. Seriously though.
Deep cuts.
I will say that the look of Rosario is amazing. How they were able to get so close. The little tops of her little head tentacle thing, they're apparently shorter than they are in the cartoon. And some like toxic fanboys were like, "Oh, it's not exactly the same." And it's like, it still looks really fucking close.
Dude, we're
like,
trying to do
out.
this shit live action. How about you go fuck yourself?
Yeah,
how about you do that? Like,
I don't need those flapping in the breeze like pieces of rubber when she's doing action sequences.
Or
I'm
like
cool with
uncircumcised penis.
Yeah,
there you go.
Flappy. Flappy ear flaps, yeah.
Sorry, Lorna.
Oh, Jesus. As much as I loved the last episode and all the reveals at the end, the Jedi episode was my favorite.
Yes.
Because it was basically a Western samurai episode. It was
100%.
So fucking badass. Michael Biehn was basically just like the other enforcer. So he had to square off against the Mandalorian.
I will ask, was anybody else hoping for something to jump out of the fucking water in that final battle scene?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, I feel like it was weak sauce and a missed opportunity for her to have, like, some secret pet to, like...
I think we're just used to any body of water having something in it in Star Wars. Like,
but it's Star Wars. That is Star Wars. That is how that works. You have something in the water.
It's me that's paranoid of water now. It's great.
It's PTSD with water. Fucking Star Wars. Here's that fucking flashback.
It's like Jedis don't swim. There's always stuff in the water.
That fight scene in that, like, on that platform around the water was basically the House of Blue Leaves, not outside of the House of Blue Leaves from Kill Bill.
Yes, it was. It's beautiful.
You think Tarantino's going to come after for money?
Hell no. But it was so perfect. And they squared off, and the Mando and Michael Bihn's character squared off, and it was just a beautiful fucking Western samurai mashup.
Okay, now I just want Tarantino to direct an episode with Bill Burr in it. Like, I just need that to happen.
No shit.
Well, season 3 has been greenlit.
Yes.
Please bring him in.
If I remember correctly,
could you imagine if they're like, nah, we're not going to do a season 3? That's also the episode where he got his Beskar spear. Which is
he won it from her.
Which is like the traditional weapon of the Mandalorians from like way back in the day when they still had the skulls. What's the creatures? The that their logos, the Mandalorian symbols from.
The Mandosaur.
It's not the Mandosaur.
No, it's not the Mandosaur.
Let's just say it's the Mandosaur, so any toxic Star Wars listeners that are listening are just going to get so mad that they stop listening. No, that doesn't work for us.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Sorgan?
No, that's, I think, an additive in food.
No.
Sorghum.
Sorghum, yeah. Mythosaur. I think the Mythosaur, I think, is the name.
I'll take your word for it.
But yeah, that was their traditional weapon to when they rode the Mythosaurs back in the day. Was that spear? But
that spear came to help him when he was fighting Moff Gideon.
That I love.
That was a weak sauce fight scene, by the way.
It was, well,
I gotta say.
But I kind of liked that it was pretty clear that Mando schooled him pretty well. That even with the Darksaber, Moff Gideon just wasn't really a match for Mando.
True.
Because that goes into the whole mythos of the Darksaber and the fact that you need to win it in battle in order to use it as your kind of title as Mandalore.
All right, now hold on. Someone who hasn't watched the shows, when Bo-Katan gets it in the show, she doesn't get it through winning it in battle.
No, it is handed to her.
Thank you, Lorna. You got me on this. You got me on. She literally is given the fucking saber. So that whole thing was bullshit.
I think the whole thing adding in that brand new out of nowhere mythos for the Darksaber is just tying unnecessary knots to create conflict.
Well, because now there's a conflict between Mando and fucking Bo-Katan, right? Because Bo-Katan wants a saber, so now there's a fight there, right? There's going to be a fight there somewhere, right? That's what they're leading for.
The confusion about
bullshit.
How the Darksaber that Sabine gave the Darksaber to Bo-Katan in the Clone Wars series.
Well, no, it was in Rebels. It was in Rebels.
Oh, in Rebels.
It was in Rebels.
That's right. With the Darksaber, I think the conversation that's been hitting a lot of the boards and YouTube videos and stuff about why there's a difference between her being able to accept it from Sabine in Rebels and needing to take it from Mando is the power structure. Is that Moff Gideon, it's assumed, got it from her, which means overpowered her in some way in order to get the Darksaber, which means that he bested her in battle. And Mando, having bested Moff Gideon in battle, once removed means that Mando can best her in battle, and for her to take it from him without battling removes the honor of holding the weapon. Now with Sabine, there wasn't that dynamic to it.
So she had it?
No,
originally?
Lorna, take it. No, Lorna, take it, please.
Well, no, I just want to make an aside. That whole sequence where they added in this brand new unnecessary conflict, I'm just sitting here like, that's just a straight Harry Potter Elder Wand fucking bullshit.
Damn!
Completely unnecessary. All that was.
Yeah.
Draco actually disarmed Dumbledore, therefore, shut up.
Yeah.
No.
Well, because in Hobbit, that actually isn't how it happened. Like, she didn't best anybody. It was Mandalore was crumbling, and I forget the character's name. Lorna, if you remember it, help me. But they're like, no, here's the Darksaber.
That was Sabine that gave her the
Sabine, yeah. And Bo-Katan's like, I can't take that. I didn't win it in battle. I'm like, no, but planet's gone. Here's saber, and she took it. So it wasn't because she didn't fight Moff Gideon for the saber.
No, but Moff Gideon may have bested her in battle, and that's why he had the saber. Post-Rebels.
Or he just got it.
Yeah, or he just got it.
Yeah.
Or just found it.
Or they pulled a fucking, Nazi Germany and just fucking invaded all of their museums and stole all their valuable shit.
He went into a junk shop on Mandalore, and he's like, oh, what's this? Dusted it off.
Yeah, because it was in a junk shop. And not...
it was
if I had to bring a negative about season 2, it was the way they handled the ultimate reveal at the end of season 1 with the Darksaber.
That didn't bother me so much. I think mainly because
no, that's not my biggest.
I think there will be further explanation into season 3 as to why there was a difference between Sabine and Mando for accepting the saber, because you've got Dave Filoni on the case. He knows this shit back to front. There's a reason why there's a difference, and also that is setting up season 3 to be a lot more about Mandalore, about who's in charge, about this planet that supposedly has been turned to glass by the Empire, and rebuilding the Mandalorian race back to its former glory, and I want to see that story. And there being a conflict between Din Djarin and Bo-Katan, that's dynamic storytelling.
All in all, season 2 kicked ass, and I've got to touch on the final episode. So
yes,
what we get with the final episode is we basically get like a response to the Vader Rogue One scene, and it's not a bad thing. Like Luke goes through, when you see the X-Wing show up, you're like, all right. Now, I'm saying that as just somebody who's watching it, not my personal. Like, I'm like, okay, that's Luke. And then he gets off, and he literally just murks everybody. I mean, he crushes a fucking Dark Trooper with his fist, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing to behold.
I had that one moment where I was like, that's one X-Wing. That's one X-Wing. You know, that one brief moment of realizing, like, oh, yeah.
For me personally, having watched some of the other Star Wars canon, I was disappointed because they have already introduced a lot of other strong, amazing Star Wars characters. I feel like it was a fail-safe bringing in Luke. So, like, when you go, they brought so much in from the animated stuff. You could have brought in Ezra.
True. And that's initially who I thought.
And you could have brought in, talk about some other canon that I don't think anybody's fucking thought of. Some other canon of a strong-ass Jedi at this time period is fucking Starkiller from the Star Wars fucking video games.
Or fucking get Sam Jackson in there. There's been conversation that Mace Windu didn't fucking die, and that he's been just patrolling the universe with his purple fucking lightsaber, just being a badass, walking the earth, as it were.
I'm going to have to disagree with you. I think part of the beauty of season 1 of this was beautiful in that it set everybody up. They did all of the hard work in season 1. Season 2, what I love so much is that it was its simplicity. The entirety of season 2 is getting Grogu to a Jedi. That's it. Every single episode is a little baby. Yeah, they meet other people and they do other things, but every single episode is an incremental step towards that. It's simple, it's to the point, it's beautiful. The fact that it is Luke that comes in, it's like it couldn't have been anyone else. The timing works. We know that at that time he was off training Jedi on his little island. Hopefully Grogu gets out of there before Ben has a hissy fit.
Grogu's like, you're not my dad, and just like leaves the planet
but
before
no, like,
Kylo does
all
the
those
thing.
other Jedis we just mentioned were in the same timeline, so they were.
Not really. It kind of
Yeah.
has. My big issue, though, so I was okay with it being Luke. Got some major problems, obviously, with the CGI. But I heard someone...
it looked like shit.
Yeah,
that was terrible.
Someone told me something last week. They were like, I bet Lucas is sitting home somewhere giggling to himself like, oh, their special effects is going to have a special edition release trying to fix that.
It's true, though. It looked like ass.
So overlooking that, my big deal, though, was 2 whole seasons. We are so emotionally invested in this story of Mando and the child as like the lone wolf and his cub. We are so fucking emotionally invested. And then you get to the very, very end of it, and he just gives the kid, doesn't ask hey, what's your name? Hey, where are you taking the kid? Like, just this whole fucking build up where we show time and time again where they didn't want to separate. They didn't want to be apart. And then bye without even asking, hey, what's your name? Hey, where are you going with my son?
I think they gave you enough throughout the season about especially when they meet Ahsoka, where it's like, I can't train him. He's attached to you, but a Jedi needs to fucking train him. And then what we get is the Master Jedi at the time shows up, and the big scene that I think we were supposed to take from that as viewers and as lovers of Star Wars is that the only other time the Mando showed his face was to let Grogu see him see him really before he said goodbye.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, there were fucking tears at that scene.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie either. No, that shit was fucking hard, dude.
That was
I'm
heartbreaking.
Wait, no, the only other thing that he took his mask off for was to eat and to save a fucking planet that ended up getting destroyed anyway. But anyway, he did it for a good reason. And now he's taking his.
It was a beautiful scene, but Yeah, I do
Sorry.
agree that there should have been a little bit more conversation, at least a little bit of exchange between Mando and Luke. You know,
That would have pointed out the shit CGI. Though,
That's
so there you
exactly
go.
what I was going to say.
well, yes.
Dude,
However-
Disney has too much money to have shit CGI like that now. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
No, I agree
There's
with
no
you
excuse.
because they've done good early age CGI in Marvel movies.
Exactly.
You
So
know?
there's like, to me, there's literally zero. You cannot give me a reason of why it looks like shit anymore. There's
Yeah.
no
Exactly.
plausible reason. Lorna.
I mean, young Kurt Russell in
looked awesome.
looked awesome in Guardians too. But
Yes.
a little bit of conversation between them would have really fleshed out that scene. I do agree
sure.
with that.
Yeah.
I think despite there being the lack of that conversation, I do just want to do the immediate shout out to the puppetry and the complete mastery of practical effects. That interaction with Baby Yoda, I am 100% bought in that is a real creature.
When Grogu was looking at fucking R2D2 and like R2 responded to him and just I could not fucking
hold
handle
on.
it.
Can we talk
level
about how
of
Grogu
skill.
put his hand up to fucking Pedro Pascal and touched his and caressed his cheek? He's like, "That's what you look like," and like I literally thought I just like imploded slightly because I'm like, I don't think my heart can hold this much because
Absolutely beautiful
So much.
puppetry.
fuck.
Beautiful.
Like, there's this tiny little creature who has entrusted his life to this masked thing for, at this point, 2 seasons, and then he sees his face and he's like, oh, that's who's loved me. Okay. And it was just this thing of like, no words. It was all glance. It was all facial recognition of like, I love you and I will always have a bond with you. Like, that's the thing. Like,
Yep.
like there will always be a bond between Mando and Grogu. Like, there will always be there. And all right, listeners, we could wax poetic.
We could do like 3
forever
full episodes
about this.
About
We
this,
can
this
wax
season.
a lot of things.
Yeah.
Oh, giggity.
I could rewatch season 2 and wax my lightsaber after this probably.
Not to Grogu though.
Not to
Maybe
Grogu.
like-
You don't
maybe
wax a lightsaber.
Gina Carano, maybe you can wax
or
that
or Ahsoka.
or Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Either of the two amazing strong.
Ming-Na Wen.
I would totally let Gina Carano body slam the fuck out of me.
She would crush your head between her thighs.
And the problem is,
That'd be fine.
No,
That'd be fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
yeah,
We didn't even get into like Carl Weathers being a
Right,
fucking director
right?
on this.
No
Fucking
shit.
yeah.
Dylan from
Robert Rodriguez was on this shit.
God.
Like, come on, dude, Rodriguez, dude, come on. Like,
Yeah. No shit.
We got Knights, right?
Yeah, we got
We do have nights, so
Yeah.
if you love where we're going and there's so much more to go, if you know season 2 of Mandalorian, check out GUI Nights. It's going to come out a week after this, and we will dig even deeper into Mando season 2.
Fuck yeah. All right, thank you so much, listeners, for joining us on this journey through the galaxy, talking about season 2 of The Mandalorian. Make sure to subscribe, rate, review all the stuff that you do for podcasts wherever you get your podcasts. We do appreciate it. Allows other people to maybe see this show and find some interest in it. Thank you so much for the 202 episodes that we've had up to this point. So so much appreciated. Also, big thanks to the Creep-A-Zoids for our intro and outro music on this episode for the song Dead by Dawn. And we'll see you next time for another episode. I'm Mike the Hobbit, and join us or die.
This is the way, Hobbit.
Shut the fuck up, Hobbit. No, just shut up. That's it. That's it.
Join us or die. Join us or die. Or I will swallow your soul.
GUIPodcast.com.
He's got knee rockets. It's awesome.